What's going on, St. Louis? It's Angela Hochman here, your host on STL TV, where you get to experience St. Louis. All right, I am sitting down today with a very powerful, awesome woman with a very long title. I don't want to mess anything up. I have Amber Benge. She's the co-director of the Missouri Equity Education Partnership,
Yes.
And you're the human rights consultant.
Yes.
Dang, does that all fit on one business card? Be
No.
honest. I didn't think so. We're going two sides.
Font has to be so small.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so welcome, Amber. How's it going?
It's going wonderful.
Good, good, good. So you've got a very exciting event going on around the corner. Let's talk about the March for Education and Equity Fair.
Okay, well, we have a March for Education and Equity Fair on September 9th, which is a Saturday.
Perfect.
It's on Cherokee Street, and it's going to take place between Cherokee and Iowa.
Oh, sweet.
And the march will take place in the beginning. And anyone is allowed to come and walk with us for public education, for our public school students, to say kids can read the books that they want to read, and parents can choose what's right for their children. And we don't need to ban things. We can just have parents make the choice of what they allow.
What a concept, right?
What a concept.
What a concept.
And so we do that in support of our communities and our schools and our children and our parents, and say, you have the rights. We shouldn't take things away from you. So we're going to be in the streets. We're going to be on Cherokee this year.
Okay.
And we want you to bring signs and a lot of energy. And if you have chants, bring some chants with you. And that should last around 30 minutes or so.
Perfect.
And then we'll go right into the Equity Fair on Iowa.
Okay, so what can one expect at the Equity Fair?
We will have guest speakers, vendors, food trucks, nonprofit organization representation.
Okay.
And then community. And what you want to do is get involved, talk to your neighbors, talk to people who live within St. Louis, downtown St. Louis, but also we have people coming from all over St. Louis County and Jefferson County as usual. So this is our third year doing.
I was just going to say, this is the third year.
Third year.
And we are in a brand new location. I love that you chose Cherokee.
Cherokee
it is so vibrant.
It is
It's
the
just
best.
like, yeah, every time I even mention it, or a restaurant or a business on Cherokee, everyone's like, oh, I love that place. It's so fun over there.
It is the coolest, it's one of the coolest neighborhoods in St. Louis.
It
is so multicultural, and you have a lot of different like restaurant experiences or vendor experiences or whatever. It's there in Cherokee.
Yeah. So can I ask, Amber, why do you do what you do? Why is this fair so important to you?
So I am a former public school teacher myself. I was licensed in Texas, Tennessee, and in Missouri. Wow. In 2020, we started hearing about all of this attack against public education in schools. A lot of that goes to a lot of different political entities wanting their money and their hands in a honeypot.
All the things.
All the time. So the founder of the Missouri Equity Education Partnership started a little small private Facebook group, and because she was running a DEI organization called In Purpose Educational Services.
Oh, nice.
And so she was seeing that these laws were going to start affecting her business. And we kind of got together, and she's a former educator too.
Okay.
And what are we going to do? And then we started bringing people in, and now we have over 3,000 members across Missouri at this point, and we're growing. And we have, an expansive leadership team. We have a lot of, we're now a 501c4 and a 501c3.
Well, congratulations twice. That's huge. So you're meaning to tell me, Amber, this whole organization started as a Facebook group.
It did.
And the two of you
Yes.
were like, well, let's do something about this. I feel like so many people will just see a problem and complain, and that's it, and not do a dang thing.
So for me, I am the always, how do we solve the problem?
Yeah.
I did this in the classroom too. If students complained or a teacher complained or there was some complaint, I would say, okay, we got 10 minutes to complain. what are the steps we're going to take to remedy or find a solution to this? And so what we've done, and I say Heather Fleming is so brilliant. She's our founder, and she's just also inspirational. We all sit down together and we're like, what are we going to do? How do we get people aware and involved? So right after we founded like a whole organization, we keep on saying we're building the plane as we fly it.
I love that.
She did the first equity fair.
Okay.
And there was no March for Education then because we were just so brand new, we didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And we had such an amazing turnout and amazing support, and people were like, when are we doing this again? And so last year we were at Keener Plaza.
Okay.
And this is when we started the march, because this is when the laws started coming down, like hundreds of bills being filed against public schools and education in general, and weaponizing education. And then that's when the march grew from like just a handful of people, and now there was like, I don't know, a couple of hundred people at last March. And so we're hoping to outdo it this year.
Dang, I was just about to ask, what are your expectations? So you want to exceed the
I want
amount
to
of
kick it
people
up. I want more
marching.
students involved this year.
Okay.
I have a lot of parents and a lot of grandparents that are usually involved in this.
Sure.
I'm having a call out to students, like, come, represent yourself. It's a safe environment. We're making it as safe as we can possibly do for the, where we are in this nation. But it is friendly. Bring your signs, bring your fire, bring your passion, and say that you deserve a well-rounded education.
Absolutely. And it's like, you don't want to feel like, guys, just do this. You want to say it is because of you.
Yes.
You are the future.
Yes.
You've got to get that next generation
Yes.
being as, in this mindset of being a crime fighter like you are. You're like, let's do something about this thing.
Let's do it.
So there's just
I need your
less
help.
chit chat and more doing.
Yes.
I think that's how things
And
get done.
there is always there's so much power in the youth. Like I know when I was younger, I felt like I was dismissed. But now being older, I realize how much I listen to what the youth are saying and what their perspective is and what their needs are.
Because they're so smart.
They're so smart.
Smarter than we give them credit for.
So we want that. I want that. I want them to help us problem solve too. I want them being part of it, where they said, I had a hand in helping the education system in my state for my children and my family to stay here too.
Oh, to give the students that sense of agency, that buy-in,
Yes.
of you get to be part of the solution.
Yes.
How empowered do you feel?
Yeah.
Or you can bribe them and also say there's going to be some great food trucks there too.
Well, that, and we are bribing some of our high school students because we need volunteers.
Sure.
So we have offered that if you have community service hours, if we start keeping a log of what you've done, we will sign off on your community service hours for those hours that you've dedicated to this cause for education.
Well, that sounds like a fun way to get some of those hours checked off.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, you hear community service, you don't always think fun, a fair, you know?
This is a fair community.
Fair, a march, the whole thing. So you mentioned vendors. You're still seeking vendors?
Still
what does that
seeking
look
vendors.
like?
So if you go to our website, marchforeducation.com, there is a form to fill out.
Okay.
It goes multiple levels for where you are as an organization or a vendor, and you can just decide that yourself.
Oh, that's awesome. So you mentioned off camera, you want to make this as easy as possible for the community. You know, as a 501c3 and 4, that sometimes you have to make the right decisions financially. You have to find the right value in it.
Yes.
So that's incredible that you're making it so easy for people. And they can sponsor as well, is that right?
Absolutely. So if you can't make it, but you feel passionate about this and you want to help us continue our work in Jefferson City and throughout the state of Missouri, you can be a sponsor or you can be an organizational sponsor as well.
Oh, fun. Well, gosh, you really have something for everyone. And like you mentioned, Amber, this event is for everybody.
For everyone.
People of all ages. We saw in those adorable photos, there is a tiny human that was what, maybe 1?
Oh my gosh,
with her mom.
maybe. She was having a great time.
She was, but she's our future.
Yes.
Like, my gosh, to instill these things in a fun environment, I think is just priceless, and it's amazing that you're doing this. Thank you so much for coming on to talk about this very important, very action-packed march. We didn't even get into it. There's going to be food trucks, entertainment, guest speakers.
Guest speakers, bring your folding chair.
Bring your folding chair.
And come listen to some guest speakers.
BYOFC, you guys. It's going to be a great day. Sharpie in Saturday, September 9th. All the fun is going down on Cherokee Street. And again, get a feel for the vibrant community down there as well. Show up for your community, show up for the March for Education and Equity Fair, because they're doing some really, really important work. Now we really need the whole community to rally together. So this is the perfect opportunity. Check them out. Also, while you're online, please check out STL TV. We are kind of everywhere. All the social media. We got so much fun stuff going on each and every channel. And there is always the good old website, www.stltv.net. Lots of great stuff going on there as well. It has been so much fun. That's going to do it. I'm Angela Hochman. We'll see you next time.